Happy Sunday. Let me share with you some of the interesting encounters I have had over this lovely Thanksgiving holiday. I want you to learn from other people's life lessons. That's the goal. I had one person come to me and say that they had declared themselves the head of the family because someone in the family had died. And so now it's their job, they're the head of the family, and they declared this at Thanksgiving. And people laughed at them, got up, and walked away. Their feelings are hurt, and they are mad. Okay. Well, other than age, why do you feel you should be the head of the family? Well, because I'm the oldest. Emotionally or just chronologically? And they kind of stopped and they looked at me. Well, what do you mean? Look at your life right now. Where are you in your life? Their life is a bit of a hot mess. And I said, now look at other people in your family and where they are in their life. Oh, I said, you got a little work to do before you can declare yourself king. It's great. Everybody needs a goal. Good for you. You've got a goal. But seriously, let's not start getting caught up in titles. I said, you want respect. You want to be acknowledged for who you are, and I appreciate that. I do. And you are a good soul, and you have come so far, but honey, don't start announcing that you're king or the head of the family, and no. No. And they laughed and said, well, they guess they did come off a little arrogant and stupid. I wouldn't say stupid, but a little arrogant, possibly. Reach back out to everybody and, tell them you're sorry. You were just a bit full of yourself. And, you are the eldest in the family, and that's great. You have learned a lot of life lessons, and you have a lot more to learn. And you wish to share that with people in the family so that they can learn from your experiences. Oh, they love that. Good. Well done. Another, there were so many. This is just kind of boiling everything down, boilerplate stuff. You are only as good as the life lessons that your parents had and the tools that they had when they raised you, okay? From age 2-ish to 12-ish. Those are your foundations. Those are when you're getting the building blocks to learn how to deal with your life, how to cope with a crisis, how to cope with everything in life. And you learn that. It's a learned behavior by people in your immediate environment, the people you were raised around. So if you were raised in a loving, supportive, nurturing family, God bless you, that's great. Then in all likelihood, you deal with stress and everyday crises very well. For others whose families were very volatile, drugs, alcohol, lots of violence. People would get mad, break a window, throw the TV out the window. I've heard a lot of stories. Hurt each other, beat kids, beat dogs, storm out, be gone for days on end. That's their building blocks. That's showing those kids this is how we deal with a crisis in our family. Not good. In all likelihood, those parents, those adults that behave like that, look at how they were brought up. Look at what they experienced when they were little. That will show you where they got it. And just keep tracing it back, and it can be generations. That this is, in that family, that's how abuse is, or that's how conflict is handled. A conflict and a crisis can be dealt with alcohol, drugs, violence, storming out, being gone for days on end, ending up in jail. Just horrible scenarios. So, what are you bringing to the table for your kids? Think about it. For those of you that have kids, little kids, what are you modeling? What are you showing them? Not just what you say, what are you showing them every day in your life? When something happens in your life, are you swearing at them? Are you so frustrated with work and, your spouse or family members, your kid comes to you for a hug and you push them away? They come to you, maybe they made a bad mark on a paper, and you beat the crap out of them. You ground them for a month. How are you handling things? What are you modeling to them? Remember how it felt when it was you, when you went to your parent with a problem, when you went to your parent for a hug, when you went to your parent with a problem, and they said, oh, hell, you don't know problems. You don't have anything to complain about. You don't understand. You don't know what problems are. Be thankful you're 7, 8, 9 years old. Well, that's not making you feel a lot better, is it? That's making you feel inconsequential, worthless, that you don't matter. And that's when a lot of kids start drinking, start doing drugs, cutting themselves to, because of the pain. Lots happen. Are you modeling bad behavior to your children? If your child is acting out, stop and think. Is any of this coming from home? Are we modeling any crazy behaviors at home that the kids are picking up, and that's how they're acting out at school? Your kid fighting at school, is there fighting at home? They may not, you may think they don't see it. You may think they don't hear it. Honey, they see it and they hear it. They know. Think about it. You're only as good as the tools that you bring to the table. This is why it is important to always keep learning. Never quit learning. I don't care if you need parenting classes, if you need to work with me, if you just talk to a priest, a rabbi, and a mom. I don't care, honey. Get the help that you need to improve your family dynamic. It is not a sign of weakness. A lot of people will say, my parents went through it, they turned out just fine. Did they? Well, look how you turned out. For a little boy who grows up angry, in all likelihood, his dad was angry, because a child is going to be more likely to model the behaviors of the same gender. Now, if there's only one sex in the house, they're raised by mom or dad alone, well, then that's how they're going to model, of course. Think about it. What are you showing your kids? So many things that I have dealt with the last 3 days boil down to what's going on in the family, what's going on in the home, and what went on in their home when they were growing up. And for those that can find out what went on in their parents' homes when they were growing up, it's just repeating the cycle. Honey, break the cycle. Whether it's abuse, alcoholism, domestic violence, swearing at your kids, having a bad temper, acting out, gambling, I don't care. Don't model toxic, unhealthy behaviors to your kids and expect them to turn out great. Okay? If you have questions, reach out. I'm happy to help.